such a pleasure to talk to you today. And I just wanted to say, I don't know many detective murder mystery series that leave you with a smile on your face at the end of each episode. And that's exactly what Shakespeare and Hathaway does. Is that what attracted you to the show?
It totally was, yeah. It's a really lovely one because, like you, I felt the same about detective things, that you kind of, enjoy raveling a secret and a murder mystery. But what I love about Shakespeare and Hathaway is it doesn't take itself too seriously. And what we always hoped, and I remember thinking this to begin with, was that people would tune in because they liked watching a little mystery and unraveling it and doing a bit of work. But then they come back tomorrow because they really liked Lou and Frank and Sebastian, and they actually genuinely wanted to sort of be around those people and have a bit of a smile while they did it.
Well, speaking of your two co-stars, it seems like you guys have a really great connection on screen. What can you tell me about them in real life?
Honestly, I'm not even lying. It's so easy to say it, and that's always a relief when you're publicising something, isn't it? I haven't got to pretend. We genuinely laugh from beginning of the day to the end of the day. We take it very seriously when we need to, but because it helps us to we are genuinely really good friends. And it's so cold. We film all through the winter. We're outdoors a lot. There's a lot of walking about in wellies, in big coats. So, we need to get along really. And I think the laughter keeps us warm. And Patrick is just, he's a delight. He's a super intelligent young man, and he's very funny. And it's all very genuine, actually. And I think you can feel that in the show, that we get along so well.
Now, the series is set in Stratford, which is so beautiful on the screen. What is it like to film there?
Well, I'm really lucky, because I grew up there too. I live in the countryside just outside of Stratford. So there's, as you know, most actors, we're all over the place whenever we're filming. So it's really rare, and so lucky to be working so close to home. But obviously, I'm a huge fan of those surroundings. I lived in London. I've lived in lots of cities, and I brought my kids home ultimately because it's just so beautiful. I mean, we are really lucky as well, because I've grown up around there. Very often I've driven past these great long grand driveways and wondered what was down there, and now when we're filming, I get to go and be in some of these stately homes and film in some of these fantastic places that I've always wondered what they were like.
You said the series is filmed in the winter. Does that mean you don't get to see any plays at Stratford?
We do get to, but no, we usually finish. We did rush and get to one last year, and usually I go and see the Christmas show there because I take my family. But I do have to put in a request to finish filming early if I need to, because we overlap with the theatre, unfortunately. But yeah, we do miss a lot of their shows because we're doing it. But we're very lucky because sometimes, we'll get some of the actors that are in the shows are able to come along and do a little guest part for us and be in our show during the day.
When was this season completed? Was it well before the pandemic started?
It was well before, yeah. It was, we finished just in December, about December the 14th. So we finished in December, and then funny enough, I was very, very ill over Christmas. Who knows? A lot of us in the Midlands think it maybe got here a bit earlier. Yes, we were ahead of time, although there were rumblings all through January and February, weren't there? But yeah, we were very lucky, and that's why, unfortunately, we're not filming right now. We would normally be doing series 4 now, and getting our wellies on and our overcoats back on to sit outside in the cold, but it's not happening now. So we're really missing each other. And we've got loads of good ideas, though, for the next series. We'd had a debrief, and we've got some great ideas. So hopefully we'll be back up and running in the new year.
Now, I want to ask you about Murdoch Mysteries, because that's a very popular show here, and you were in 2 episodes of it. Tell me, what was it like filming those?
Oh, do you know, it was wonderful. It was the longest I'd been away from my twins were about 5 years old, I think, then. And I'd never been to Toronto. I'd always wanted to. My brother's best friend lives between Toronto and Vancouver, so I managed to meet up with him. And there was a guy in the show called Murray, who was another actor in the show, and he was really lovely. Him and his wife and son took me under their wing, and on my day off, they drove me to the falls and showed me around the place. They really looked after me, and in turn, actually 2 years later, they dropped off in Europe, so they came and stayed at my house. So I made some good friends on the show, and it's just such a fabulous set out of town, and you always feel a bit like I think when you do a period drama and you get to put the big dresses on, you know, if you drive past a little boy in a Ferrari and it sort of takes their eyes away, it's like that when you walk past a little girl in a big frock like that. They kind of go, oh yeah, and you do feel like you're really filming, you're really pretending. They've worked so hard on that, the crew. And they were really great. They looked after me, and it was a treat coming to Toronto. I absolutely want to come again because I just think it's a fabulous city.
That's really good to hear. Now, I want to ask you, what do you like best about your character, Luella Shakespeare?
I love her optimism, and I love the way she's a bit cheeky with Frank, and that she's very gung-ho. She doesn't really care what anyone thinks. She just gets on and does it, and she wants to crack the case, and that's what matters to her. Right? And she's sympathetic, and she's a lot of nice soft things that you think might not work for a detective, but actually she's got a real knack of getting people to open up and talk to her, and it works for them, doesn't it?
Yes, definitely. She is so sweet and such a warm character. You were saying that the filming of the 4th season has been delayed. Is there any filming at all going on in England right now?
I have just finished filming a series that I was in the middle of filming just as lockdown happened. I do a show called Ackley Bridge on Channel 4, which is a show set in a school, and I was the head teacher in it. And I was on my 4th year of that in the middle of March when we went into lockdown. So I had to come away, lockdown, and then I've just got back from filming that in Halifax at Leeds in North England. And I know of another thing that was stopped. It started and it stopped again because of positive tests. So I've finished my bit on that, and they're still going at the moment. But so really around here, it seems to be in England, the things that were shut down in the middle have gone back and are starting to film again, but not a lot of new stuff is up and running yet. Although, you know, it is looking good for December, but we'll see. I mean, I don't know how it is for you guys.
Well, I do know that Murdoch Mysteries is filming and a few other shows, but who knows how long.
Yeah.
Second wave, who knows what's happening. So finally, I want to ask you, is there any show that you've been binging during the pandemic that you'd like to recommend?
Oh, what haven't we? I tell you what, we've watched. This is one extreme to another, really. I loved watching Unbelievable. It's quite heavy. It's quite serious. Follows a rape case and a girl that's not believed, based on a true story. That was phenomenal. We binged that, and then we've been watching Married at First Sight Australia, which is just ridiculous, but we've really enjoyed it. And Succession, of course, I wish they'd finished the next one of those, because I'm envious of anyone who's still got that to watch, to be honest.
Thank you so much for talking to me today. Thank you for the show, because it's so fantastic. I totally binge every season as soon as it's available.
Oh, good. Thank you.
I just want to say that it is now available on BritBox for anyone in Canada and the States.
Thanks for having me.